Well, for more on this topic, we're joined by Rebecca Fannin, founder and editor of Silicon Dragon News. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Now, President Xi Jinping has been stressing the importance of innovation and technology to growing China's economy. So how has China progressed over the past few years on that front?
Well, it's come from being much more of a copycat nation of innovators to now today a whole new group of innovators who have come up, youngsters who are inventing their own ideas, who have their own concepts and are not just copying the West anymore. So it's been a very dramatic change in not very long a period of time either.
So give us some examples. What are we seeing in terms of China's recent achievements when it comes to innovation?
Well, if you look at how the mobile commerce sector has developed, it's much more advanced than what we have here in the West. For instance, WeChat is being used to drive traffic and to attract customers and then drive them either to online stores or to offline stores. And payment can even be made on WeChat. So that alone is a real innovative a mechanism that is driving mobile commerce. There's many other examples, like for instance, artificial intelligence is being really pushed in China, and you have driverless cars, just like Google has its driverless car, Baidu has its driverless car. You have the car hailing apps, which are much more prominent in China than there are in many of our cities here in the U.S.
Right.
And then you look at drones and virtual reality. It's just throughout many technology sectors driving this innovation forward.
Certainly spanning the spectrum there. Now, China is also the country with the second most unicorns. Those are these billion-dollar companies, second only to the U.S. What's driving that growth?
Well, I think it's the giant markets that China has. You have these huge mobile market, you have a huge internet market, you have a lot of venture capital money chasing the next new big idea. So it all adds up to making these unicorn companies. Now, whether there's going to continue to be the same kind of growth in unicorns going forward is a question. I think we're starting to see a slowdown. You're starting to see some consolidation. So we may not be seeing as many unicorns from China as we have been seeing.
Now let's look at some collaborations. We're seeing that Apple is opening 2 research and development centers in China. Can we expect to see more of these tech collaborations with China and U.S. businesses, especially given that President-elect Trump is preparing to take office?
Absolutely. Tim Cook has paid a number of visits to China, opened this R&D center in China. You know, it's a good way to get into the Chinese market and to curry favor. So I think we're going to see many more examples of American technology companies entering China this way, doing R&D there, in addition to manufacturing, which has been going on for a long time. But research and development is a step up. It's a value add proposition, not just getting the product made in the cheapest way possible. So I definitely think we're going to see more of that.
Now, there have also been some reports saying that some Silicon Valley startups are really getting inspired by what China's doing in terms of its innovation advances. What's your take on that?
Oh, I totally agree with that. And, some people characterize that as a race between the two nations or who's going to get ahead, which side's going to get ahead faster. But it's really more like a relay, the two added up together. There's so much cross-border ideas and investments and talent flow that it's all just coming together, and it's actually making innovation happen faster because there is this collaboration country to country. And in Silicon Valley is really the tech center of the world, right. And it's very influenced by China. There's a lot of talent from China there. There's Chinese venture capital in Silicon Valley. So a lot of these trends are being driven from China, but China plus, because it's China and Silicon Valley.
Now, Rebecca, what about partnerships with some of these European countries? We've seen China investing in and acquiring some of these well-known tech brands. What do you think of that strategy?
Well, I think this is just another sign of China's impact globally. It's not just in the U.S., but in other markets as well, including Israel, including London. There are funds being raised from Chinese capital from Chinese investors, from wealthy Chinese serial entrepreneurs, owners of factories who've made a lot of money, who are looking for a place to park their capital. So they are funding venture capital funds in Europe, and they're also acquiring and investing in technology companies directly in Europe.
Well, certainly lots to watch. Thanks so much. We'll have to leave it there. Rebecca Fannin, founder and editor of Silicon Dragon News.